Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vicki Chats podcast. I have two very special guests in the studio with me today. Today on the show, I'm joined by these two beautiful, dynamic sisters who are changing lives one thought, one prayer, and one beautifully honest conversation at a time. Dunkin and Shelley Haisman. Yes, welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having
Our
us.
pleasure.
We're excited.
Yes, I'm so excited too. You're authors, you're speakers, you're podcast hosts, and the co-founders of Abundantly Favored, a faith-based movement helping women transform their self-talk, renew their minds, and rediscover who God created them to be. Raised in small-town Iowa, a big family full of personality, perseverance, and probably a little chaos. These sisters, yeah, probably a lot of that. These sisters learned early on that words carry power. From selling books door to door during college summers to now writing books of their own, Jenny and Shelley have turned real life experiences, Bible truth, practical mindset tools, and sister-style humor into a message that deeply connects with women navigating overwhelm, growth, transition, and purpose. Together, they've written the powerful books, Wait, Did I Say That? You want to show it? Yeah, there you go. Yes. And Wait, Did I Pray That? Yay, I love it. Today we're diving into faith, mindset, the stories behind the books, and why the conversations we have with ourselves matter more than we realize. And before we wrap up today's show, we'll also be teasing a very special joint book signing featuring Jenny, Shelley, and yours truly. Because yes, I'll be there with my two books as well. We'll be gathering at Barn Happy in Cedar Falls on Saturday, July 11th from 10 a.m. to noon for books, conversation, laughter, inspiration, and probably a few stories we shouldn't tell in public. So without further ado, welcome Jenny and Shelley.
Thank you,
Thank
Vicki.
you.
Thank you so much. We're
My
so happy to be
pleasure.
here. Yes.
My pleasure. So you two are sisters. First, what's one childhood story that perfectly explains your personalities today?
Well, do you want to go? Do you want me to go?
Well, the first one that comes to my mind, which I don't, and we write about it in the book, I don't know if it explains our personalities today, but I have to share it. So growing up, so we're 2 years apart. Shelley's 2 years older than I am. And she was a size bigger than I am.
Okay.
So I could wear her clothes, but she couldn't wear my clothes. And she came, I remember coming up to me, approaching me saying, hey, this isn't fair. You need to buy your clothes in my size so we can both wear all of them.
Right. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
And in my brain, I was like, okay, that might make sense. But if I'm spending my money to buy my clothes,
right,
I'm buying them in my size. That's too
bad.
bad.
So Jenny had two wardrobes and I had half a wardrobe.
It was great.
So I didn't think it was very fair. But no, I think growing up, we are two of six kids. And I'm number 3 in line. Jenny's number 4. And I think, and our younger siblings, I was kind of the mom of the younger ones, which you were too, I guess. But Jenny's very adventurous and I'm a little bit more cautious about things. I research things before diving in. And Jenny, and that's kind of how we've always been. So It's been a fun process with this book too.
Well, that was definitely with the book when we decided we were going to write this book. We announced it on a podcast and Shelley said, hey, anyone who's ever written a book or anyone who's been on a podcast has either written a book or they're promoting a book. Let's write a book. Yeah. So I said, okay, do you want me to announce it? And Shelley said, okay.
Not really thinking she was going to.
Oh, I did.
Yes.
So we end the podcast and Shelley goes, I guess we're writing a book.
Yeah. I love
then
that.
We did. Yes.
So you both talk openly about mindset and self-talk. When did you first realize words truly shape our lives?
Well, we had a very interesting summer job when we were in college. We worked for a company called the Southwestern Company, which was basically door-to-door sales.
Oh my!
And they sent us to Nashville, Tennessee for a week-long. They call it sales school.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a combination between a rock concert, a Tony Robbins motivational seminar, and a boot camp.
Wow.
We learned how to sell because this is college age kids.
Yes,
like we don't know how to sell things. And so we went down there and they did not sugarcoat it. And they said, this is really going to be one of the most challenging things you've probably ever done so far, but we want to prepare you. And so they put us through all the sales training. They gave us motivational books, and
Wow.
they told us we were going to face so much rejection,
Yes.
but they gave us the tools, kind of the mindset tools, to be able to work through that. And so
Right.
that was really the first time when our goal was to knock on 30 doors, or actually have 30 presentations every day
What?
from 7:59 in the morning until 9:30 at night,
Oh
Monday
my
through
gosh.
Saturday.
Oh my God.
And so maybe if you had a good day, 2 or 3 people bought from you. So that's 27 or 28 people that didn't. And so we learned very quickly that if you let your mind take over and think, this is terrible, this is awful, I'll never amount to anything.
Right.
Because those are some of the thoughts you think about that you weren't going to get anywhere. So they gave us the tools, and you really realize
Yeah.
your
And
words matter.
one of
Right.
my favorite tools that they taught us to use happened before we even got to sales school, because we would have meetings throughout the school year,
Okay.
and we made what we called emotional purpose cards, so little index cards with just writing things on them that were positive. So they were designed to be something that if you did get a door slammed in your face, or if you did have a down day,
Which happened.
it happens, yes, you could go to your emotional purpose cards and just flip through them. And they said things like, I'm a child of God, and everyone's getting them, and just different things like that, that just, made you remember your worth.
Right.
And
Yes.
even if people were being
That's a
rude.
good way to describe
Right.
it.
So growing up in small town Iowa, did you ever imagine you'd someday become authors and podcast hosts?
Of course. No.
No.
We did not.
course.
We did not. I always say I'm a teacher by day, and Jenny has a
Yes.
teaching degree. And I actually, when I was younger, I did not like to read. I love it now. So the fact that I want to go back to some of my teachers, maybe be like, can you believe it?
Right.
But no, it's I don't know. Jenny and I love to like make up plays on our front porch and perform that.
I'm going to do a timeout here.
I loved it, baby.
Yeah, and you would. I remember more making mud pies. Like, Shelley's doing a play.
I
She
tap
can't
dancing.
That's
probably
cute.
just.
But it is
Probably
fun
true.
being from that small town. We'll give a shout out, Belmont, Iowa.
Yes.
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 Just such a small area. It has been so fun. Just the response of so many people in our hometown that are like, "Oh my gosh, your book's amazing!" And it's and I think for them too. I don't know if it's a, "Whoa, you wrote a book,"
Right.
or what
I love
it is,
that.
but it's been really fun for that.
Oh, I love it. And the podcast too.
Yes.
What
That
do you
has been fun.
What do you love most about the podcast?
I think what I love most about the podcast is it's Shelley and I together. Just we do a lot of sister banter. I mean, the whole little timeout. That's one thing we say too. We're like, okay, we are sisters. We will interrupt each other. We will cut each other off, and it's very real life. Like we do not edit the podcast. There was one. You're probably not gonna like that I'm saying this, but one Shelley was trying to say this phrase or something that took her 4 times to say it. I'm like, don't cut that out.
I know.
Because it's life.
It's life. And it was kind of funny.
Yes,
That's
it was.
adorable.
But it's, I mean, I have done that as well. And it's like, we don't care. It's just,
we all do it.
yes.
I leave my mistakes in all the time.
Yes.
Because
we're
people,
human.
That's right.
they
Yeah,
can relate
that's
to
right.
you better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So tell me about those summers again, selling the books door to door. What did that experience teach you about resilience?
Yes.
I will start out with that, just saying, so Shelley being 2 years older than I am, I followed in her footsteps a lot. And the first summer after she sold books, she came home and said, "Oh my gosh, you have to do this with me." And my comment, which was kind of shocking to me, I basically said, "Just because you did this doesn't mean I need to do this." So I told her no for a full year. And then after the second summer, she invited me to their awards banquet that they had every year at the end, just celebrating everyone's success. And when I saw the camaraderie that everyone had, you could tell that they'd all been through a tough summer job, and they just had this instant bond, and I wanted that. So that wasn't really answering your question, but it's really fun. So
well, that's kind of how she got started. But the resilience, I think, kind of what we said before, just when you are facing all of that rejection, you really start to question your self-worth and your sanity many times. But when you realize you can get back up and keep trying and keep putting, the next foot forward, that's when success comes.
I love it. That's when it comes. So which one of you got discouraged faster?
Tie. I think it's a tie.
I think
probably.
it's definitely a tie.
I think everybody who does that job, like, Yeah. And they
Yes.
really do a great job of preparing you for it, but until you actually get
Right.
out in there and you don't go with like another person, you go by yourself. So you are, and then the whole time you're wondering, is everybody experiencing this? I bet so and so is having
Yes.
all these great sales. And then once a week on Sunday
Oh.
afternoons, they would get us all together and we would kind of share how everybody did. And then we'd have what were called like little mini PCs, personal conferences with
yeah.
older people, like 2 years older than you, student managers,
More
they call them,
experience.
more
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And kind of to talk you through like how it went and kind of just brush up on your sales skills again and motivate you for the next week.
Yes.
So
And
you worked 7 days a week then?
Well,
6.
pretty
Well,
much.
But the seventh
the
day you had to have
Seventh day we went
conferences?
to church in the morning, and then the first few weeks
Oh,
it was
the
all
first few
about
weeks.
kind of retraining everybody
Okay,
to
got you.
because you're so nervous when you're out there, like you just ditch the sales script and you just kind of do your own thing, and they're like, no, you got to follow the basics, get back to the basics.
Wow.
And so then after everyone kind of started rolling,
Mhm.
we still, would do the thing where we'd go to church in the morning and then we'd have a short meeting and then we'd get to do something fun that was in the area. So we sold books out of state. I was in 5 different states,
Oh,
Jenny,
my.
over the course of 5 years. And
I was in
Yes.
4, right?
yes.
But that first year, just talking about the question of who, I think that the question was basically like the who got discouraged faster
Yes,
or whatever.
yes, yes.
So we did work alone, but we also had the ability to, if we were struggling or when you were first starting, you could work with a student manager.
Oh.
And my
Yes.
first summer, I was able to actually sell with Shelley and live with her.
Mhm.
So those
So
were
that's
some of my
great.
favorite summers where I was able to, or my favorite
That's
days when I
cute.
could follow Shelley. They called it
Yeah.
following someone.
Aw.
And we had so much fun. And
Yes.
then you did, it was, you could make fun when you were by yourself, but when
Yeah.
you're with other people too, it was
Right.
fun. And I do
Right.
have to say also that this company is still alive and well, and they always show up in our community. So
Mhm.
you will likely see someone running around. I think they have polo shirts now that have the Southwestern
Okay.
Advantage on them, but just be
Okay.
nice to them.
Yeah.
Their
Yes.
books are great. They have
Nice.
digital products,
Yes.
lemonade, sandwich.
Ah.
Just be nice.
Snacks.
Yes.
I
Because they're
love it.
hardworking kids.
Yes,
for
they
sure.
are. And it is a great company.
Oh,
Yes.
that's beautiful. So
Mhm.
let's talk about the books. So, what inspired the title? Wait, did I say that? Because honestly, we've all had those moments.
Mhm.
Yes, we have. So really, we had the book written before we knew what the title was going to be, which
Oh.
surprises some people that we're like,
Yeah.
hey, we wrote a book. Oh, what's the title? We don't
know.
know. But we wanted something that was super catchy and
Right.
that would make people want to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I think we had tossed around this title a little bit, but we weren't sure. But I
Mhm.
think we had slept on it. We prayed about it and said, you know what, we're going to roll with it. This is what
Right.
it's
I love
going
it.
to be.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that. So,
Mhm.
what's the biggest misconception people have about positive thinking versus faith based mindset work?
Mhm.
Well, I think, in my opinion, excuse me, when I hear positive thinking, sometimes people think it's like just pretend things aren't happening and
Yeah.
just be positive,
Right.
like just sugarcoat everything.
Right.
And that's not real life.
No.
And it also, I think if you think about positive thinking, it's all about self and like, what can I do to change my
Right.
mindset, which that's good.
Yeah.
But with our approach, it's more faith-based, and it really boils down to, what does God say about you
Yeah.
in the Bible? And so many times I think we've met a lot of women who, think they're just not worthy,
Sure,
or I'm too
sure.
old to just get started with something new, or that doesn't work out for me. And these are all things we've said about ourselves too.
Mhm.
And so our mission really is to help women and men and kids, and really it's for everybody, to know that if you really focus on what God says about you, you are loved, you are worthy.
Yes.
He created you and he wants what's best for you.
Right.
And so we get people to just be aware of what they're
Yes,
saying.
Of course.
And because that's a lot of times we've had people who have read the book, that you have a friend that was playing pickleball even, and she was like, oh, I'm terrible at this. And then she said, wait, no, I can't say
Yes.
that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting better. I'm
There
trying.
you
So it's
go.
not about sugarcoating it like,
Aw.
no, I'm the best. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what, I might not have it yet,
Yes.
but I'm working on it.
Aw.
And
Okay,
it just
so
changes the focus.
One of the things you said about starting something I'm too old to start that.
Yeah.
We have to give a plug for our mom. So
Oh
our
my gosh,
mom,
yes.
she turned 80 in February,
Aw.
and Shelly's daughter Hannah said, "Grandma, you should start a TikTok channel."
So
So she
She
did,
did.
and it's so
Yay.
good. So grandma.carol53 on TikTok. You have to check her out. She's
Yes.
so cute, so sweet. So
Oh, I love it.
she was 80 and started a
Right.
TikTok channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And she's killing it. People,
She
she has
is.
tons of followers.
Yes. Yes, which is so
Oh,
fun.
that's so beautiful. So did writing together strengthen your relationship or make you temporarily want separate zip codes?
I love that. The neat thing about how we wrote the book is thankful for technology. We're very thankful for it because we wrote in our own homes, but we had a Google Doc so we could each see what we were writing. And actually, I would think it totally strengthened who we are. And
yes.
we've also had people come up to us and say, "Oh my gosh, your sister, you're writing,
You get along.
how does that work?"
Yes.
Right.
So we always say we fought so much growing up that we got it out of our system, and we're good now.
For sure. For sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. How different are your personalities when it comes to creativity, organization, and getting things done?
I will say I am more the thinker. I like to research things. I like to, and Jenny's just like,
Let's go.
this is what I wrote.
Let's go.
Here we go. So I always say Jenny's the gas and I'm the brakes. A little bit, but it's a good combo.
It is so true
Yes.
because initially when we first started, I remember you like, "Well, let me do some research." I'm like,
On what? Let's just
"What
do it.
is there to research? Let's go. Let's just do. We
But
can
it's-
research later."
Right. And I think it's for me, it's like just a fear thing sometimes that it's like, okay, I want to just make sure all my ducks are in a row.
Yeah.
But we've learned really that if you have an idea, you just have to go for it. And
Yeah.
so many doors have opened for us because we said yes and because we
Yes.
decided to do it. And we didn't know how to write a book. We didn't know how to do a podcast. We didn't
Yeah.
know how to find a publisher. We didn't know how to do anything.
Right.
And so
One thing you always say that is fabulous is everything's figure outable.
yeah.
So like the whole
Oh,
ducks in a row, she
yeah.
wants them in a row. I'm like, they will line up. Let's
Yes,
go. Our
yes,
ducks will line
yes.
up.
Yeah.
So we're good for each other, I think.
That's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
Was there a chapter in the book that was particularly difficult to write?
I would say I will talk about chapter 5. So
Mm.
chapter 5 is called Choose Joy. And
Yeah.
so it's about my dear friend from college, Sarah Frankel. She passed away at age 38.
Oh.
And Shelley knew her as well because we were friends through, we both graduated from UNI. Love the little, for those of you listening, you can't see there's a UNI
Yes.
sign behind us. Love that. But I wanted to do her justice. And her whole mantra, she was in pain her entire life, not her entire life. So from like age mid-20 on, she was in
Oh.
constant pain. And her mantra was
that's
choose
right.
joy.
Mhm.
And she knew that if God still had her on this earth, she had a purpose. So really that chapter for me was, and
Yeah.
Shelley was so good. So what we did is we had an outline and we kind of knew what each chapter wanted to be about.
Right.
And Shelley's like, I said, I kind of want to write about Frankie for chapter 5. And Shelley said, I totally thought you'd be writing about Frankie.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I just wanted to do her justice.
Yes.
So that was a very, very special chapter for me.
Mhm.
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 How
Yeah.
about
Yes.
you?
I would say there's a part at the end where we kind of talk about the people you surround yourself with makes such an impact in your life. And at any point in your life, you can change that circle up if need be.
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of the people that I met in college are still some of my dearest friends to this day. And a lot of them, we sold books together.
Oh.
And so we were able to write, and there were so many more people I could have put in this chapter.
Yeah.
But it was really special to be able to go back, and it was kind of a thank you to them for helping us
sweet.
be the people we are today and how
Yes.
important they were in our lives and shaping, like I said, who we are.
Yeah.
And that was a hard chapter because we had conversations about this, like we're going to leave people out. So we put in the
Yes.
very beginning of that chapter of,
Oh.
okay, this is not an encyclopedia of everyone who's touched our lives because that would be
Yes.
huge.
Of
And
course.
so know if you're not necessarily mentioned, you still made an impact.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And your podcast, let's talk about that. It feels
Yes.
incredibly authentic and conversational. What
Mhm.
do viewers connect with most?
Ooh, I think maybe the sister banter back and forth. We always start with a Bible verse, and so our whole podcast is around a theme of whatever the Bible verse is. But we get into a lot of stories about growing up, raising our kids, just life in general. And like Jenny said, we interrupt each other a lot because we're sisters, and we aren't offended by that.
Right.
It's just who we are.
But we usually give a shout out or say during that, okay, we're sisters. We're going to going to interrupt each other.
Yes, right.
Which
It's
is
going to happen.
But then that's kind of the fun way we approach mindset and being aware. Like we're still kind of in the baby steps for people. Like the first step is to be aware of what you're saying to yourself and what you're saying out loud. And we related a lot also to, if you have kids or maybe nieces and nephews or a special young person in your life, if you hear them speaking negatively about themselves, you're like, no, that's not true.
Right.
That's God for us. Like God is our Father. And when we say stuff about ourselves that doesn't align with what he says about us, he's like, stop it.
Right.
That is not true.
Yes,
you are not too old to start this or whatever it may be.
Yes.
So, what are some of the most common negative thought patterns women struggle with today?
I would say we hear a lot of, I'm not worthy. I'm too old for this.
I have to do it all.
I have to do it all. I'm so overwhelmed. And
I'm tired.
I'm tired. And not that these things aren't true, but your brain believes whatever you tell it. And so if you constantly are saying, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'm never going to get this done, then your brain just doesn't really cooperate and said, okay, yeah, let's take a little siesta. And so
it will look for things to go down that
prove
path.
that.
Because you are programming your brain.
Right.
So,
and so we really, really try to get the message out that your brain does believe whatever you tell it. So you might be feeling tired, but instead you can say things like, this has been a day, but I'm going to energize because I've got more things to do tonight. Or, God, help me get through this. Your will be done, whatever you want me to get accomplished. That's something we write about in the book too, is we always have a checklist of things we think we need to do in a day. And mine tends to be very long. I don't know about all of you.
Wow.
But it's sometimes very unrealistic. And so at the end of the day, you can feel really unsatisfied. Like, I didn't do this and this and this. So we started just in the morning. It's kind of a prayer of, God, what do you want me to accomplish today? And so if you're really in line with what he's wanting for you and check in with him throughout the day, it's amazing the things that really needed to get finished. They do, but maybe it's not laundry that day or, so it's just being aware of that.
I like to put positive spins on things. For example, the word cleaning kind of grates on my nerves. So I've called it self-investment.
I like that.
Yes,
I'm going to invest in myself today.
I
I'm not
love
cleaning.
that.
And yesterday I did it and I didn't want to do it. But it was like, you got this, and wow. And I spent a lot of extra time organizing and doing things I wouldn't have done because I was investing in myself.
Right.
I love that.
I will listen to a podcast or a good book while I'm doing a job that I do not enjoy. Like
there you go.
Weeding the garden or something. I have a good book in my ears.
You have a garden?
No, like weeding a flower garden or something.
That's hilarious. So have either of you ever caught yourselves preaching one thing while personally struggling to practice it?
Okay, so we really try to, we're human, right? So we are all a work in progress. So we try not to preach. We kind of like, this is what we're working on. Come along with us. We are human. We make mistakes. We will call each other out as well. That we'll say something and not think anything of it, and the other will say, "Did you just say that?"
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're not good at that. You're right. Like, and just kind of make fun of it. But the other thing we teach with that too is it's so important once you become aware to have that accountability partner.
Yes.
So and we talked about in one of our podcast episodes, we talked about how to approach that person in your life who may be very negative, that maybe you have it all figured out, but how to help them. And so we give some good tools with that too, but we hope we are never preaching. We hope it is very much just like, this is the journey we are on. We would love for you to come along with us.
And what role does humor play and healing and growth for the two of you.
A lot.
A lot is for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of a family thing too. So like we're one of 6 kids. So there's 3 boys and 3 girls, and our younger sister, Angie, she just lives in Denver, Iowa with me as
Aw.
well. She was 5 years younger than me. So 7 years younger than Shelley. And it's so funny because we did stuff together a lot. And then Angie, when she got through college, she kind of joined in, and we love her. We're super close, but she has commented that when people say, "Oh, why aren't you part of the book?" She's like, "Oh, I'm writing my own book, and it's going to be called Yes, They Did Say That, Another Childhood Trauma." Just humor's everywhere.
Oh my
It
gosh,
is.
that's
Yes.
hilarious.
So
I
look
love
for that
it.
book.
Yes. Coming, we don't know when.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What has surprised you most since becoming published authors?
I would say it's surprising to me that we've had so many people come up to us and say, "I've always wanted to write a book."
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Or they
yay.
assume since we wrote a book, we're the experts at writing a book. And
Yeah.
it's like we use
Right.
Shelley's mantra of everything's figure outable, and
Yes.
we
Right.
just jumped in.
There
Yes,
you go.
I would
Mhm.
agree. I would say that was probably the most surprising thing of how many people, really everybody has a story.
Yes,
Mhm.
right.
And how many people are secretly like thinking, wow, if you could do it, maybe I could do it too.
Right.
Yes, we
And
can
really,
do it.
exactly.
Yes,
You could do it too.
exactly. I
Uh-huh.
love it.
Mhm.
So tell me, what do you hope readers feel after finishing your books?
Mm.
Wow.
I hope they feel that they can do it, right?
Yes.
I hope that they become aware and
Mhm.
not to get overwhelmed, because really that first step is being aware of what you're saying to yourself.
Mhm.
And at the end of every chapter, we have questions to ponder
Mhm.
and take action items.
Mhm.
And it really is meant to be something that can help people and those that they're surrounded with just grow in this journey of becoming who God wants them to be.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. I was just going to say almost the same thing. Hope. I want them
Oh, yeah.
to feel hope
Yeah.
that no matter what their circumstances are, that they don't have to stay stuck in the mindset that nothing's
Right.
working out for me, nothing is going to change, that change is possible.
Yes, it
Mhm.
sure is. So let's talk about the upcoming book signing at Barn Happy. Yay, so
Yes,
excited. Of course,
me
I'll have my
too.
books there
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
So what do you think that people viewing us can expect from this event?
Yes. Well, I think you can feel our energy. And I'm just so
Mhm.
thankful to Chris Butker for letting us
Yes.
come into her beautiful
Oh,
store.
yes, I
so-
am too.
Yes.
She's so precious. What a
Yes.
beautiful woman.
I know.
And she's so warm and welcoming.
Yes. And the
Yes.
vibe inside of Barn Happy, I think fits our vibe. Like
Yes.
it's always buzzing. It's always,
Right.
you just get this great feeling when you enter
Yes, you
her
do.
store. So I
Yes.
think they'll definitely feel that from us. We just want to help people, right? I think we all do.
Yes.
So just come and see us and share your stories.
Right.
Maybe ask about the chicken chicken with its
Chicken
head
with
cut
its
off
head cut off.
story
That's
that's in the
that's
book.
in the book. Yes.
And
And if you already have a copy of our book or books,
Yeah.
bring them. We'd love to
Yes.
sign them for you.
Yes, right. And the great food that you'll get.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, fabulous food.
Yes.
Because reading just lends to conversation, and conversation
Mhm.
lends to coffee and food.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. So, okay. And since the 3 of us will be there together with 4 books total, should people prepare for inspiration, laughter, or complete literary chaos?
Ooh,
All of it.
all of the above. Yes.
There you go.
It'll be great.
And you gifted me with this beautiful mug. Look at this, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. And how can our viewers get your mugs too?
Yes. So we actually have a website. It's called abundantlyfavored.com, and there's a tab that says
Yes.
merch on there that you can click on. We have t-shirts,
Sweet.
sweatshirts, that mug,
Nice.
or you can go to abundantlyfavored.itemorder.com, and that's a direct
Nice.
link to the merchandise.
Nice.
Yep.
And your books are also in TJ's Christian Bookstore.
That's
All
right.
1806 Waterloo Road in Cedar Falls, where the hugs are always free.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, anything else you want to say in closing about the books?
I just think that we have to give a shout out to God, because this whole process was Holy Spirit led. Like,
Yes.
we talk about how writing the books was actually easy for us because it's stories we had told forever.
Yes.
And like Shelley mentioned earlier, that the Holy Spirit just kind of kept opening doors for this all to come into place. So
yes.
we are so grateful that, one, that we listened to that God nudge,
yes,
Yeah.
right.
and two, that it's been able to make an impact on so many people already.
Right.
Just the feedback. What would you say, Shell?
Excuse me, I would say the same thing. And we are just on a mission to help as many people as we can. And we've had
Right.
people as young as 5th grade read the books,
Oh,
all the way through, in their 80s
wow.
and 90s. And so it's really a great book for everyone. And we know it will bring you a lot of hope, a lot of joy, laughter.
Yes.
And we just cannot wait to get this message out to other
Mhm.
people.
And that's the book. It's a really quick read. So the wait, did I say that? The devotional, it's actually a 30-day mindset devotional. So it's a little different, and it's designed to be something you can do right away in the morning or right before you go to bed. Just a really simple format.
Beautiful.
For sure.
It has helped me so
Oh,
much.
good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good.
Because
Yes.
I'm really busy too with this job,
Yes,
and then
sure.
also the editing and writing my own books. And it's like a moment of peace in my day when I open your journal and I'm able to the devotional and I'm
Yes.
able to write my feelings to
Oh,
Jesus. So thank
awesome.
you.
a lot.
Thank
Awesome.
you very
Yes.
much.
Thank
It's
you.
been beautiful. So we'll see you all on Saturday, July 11th at Barn Happy, 10 a to 12 noon. Plan for lots of fun. Get our books. Hang out with us. Tell us what inspires you. And perhaps we'll draw out your next book. Yes, there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being
Thank
with
you.
us. Have a beautiful rest of your day.